Hi guys, I am Luan Skaggs and welcome to the channel. Now today we are going to be making this beautiful gold table. It looks so rich and so elegant and it's so easy to do guys. So if you guys would like to see how I did this, then come with me and let's get started. So to begin, the first thing we'll do is follow the link in the description down below and download the patterns. Now the patterns will be free for the first 48 hours and all the patterns on the site is downloads. So if you purchase a pattern, then you could download it and start working on your project right away. There are two sets of patterns in this design. We have the one that's named top and the one that's named bottom. The both of them goes together the same way. So I'll show you how I put together the top one and you could put together the bottom one exactly the same way. So we'll stick 1 and 2 together. We'll cut right along this line and stick it on number 2. Then we'll stick number 1 to number 2 and make sure that our lines line up really nice. Using this glue helps give us some time that we could play around with it to make sure that our lines line up perfectly. Then we'll stick number 3 to number 2. That's how easy it is to put together this pattern. Now we'll follow the line and cut out the pattern. So we'll do these exact same steps for the other one and then we'll come back. Once we have the two patterns put together, they'll fit together like this. So again, I'll show you on the cardboard how I cut out one of the side and we'll do the same thing for the other piece. Now for this you could use cardboard, you could use poster board. It is completely up to you what you use. This is a 1-ply cardboard, so I'll be cutting out and tracing out 5 pieces to glue together. I'm starting out by putting the pattern on the straight edge of the cardboard and then we'll just trace around the pattern. For the protruding edge of the both patterns, we'll just make some small dashes. It's not that easy to say protruding edge that much. It is a little bit of a tongue twister. Once we have finished tracing this side, we'll flip the piece over and make sure we line up this edge and trace around it. Then we'll use an X-Acto knife to cut out the design from the cardboard. Now I'm cutting out this little groove at the top. The bottom pattern has the groove at the top and the top pattern has the groove at the bottom. And that's the way you'll be able to tell the two patterns apart. So we'll follow this method for all the other pieces. We want to have enough that when we stack it together, it's about 1 inch thick. So we'll cut out the rest of the pieces and then we'll come back. And I also traced out the pattern on a poster board and then we'll cut this out as well. We want to have a nice smooth surface on top of the cardboard. And even if we are using foam board, I would still like to put poster board on top of it because when we spray paint the foam board, it tends to raise up off of the foam board. So if you stick the poster board on top of it, it would have a nice smooth surface after you spray paint it. Now we'll cut out some 1-inch strips to cover the sides. Once we're done cutting out all of our strips, we'll put our pieces together. Now we'll glue our cardboards on top of each other. You could use ordinary glue to glue these together, but I needed mine to dry really fast, so I'm using the glue sticks. You want to stack your cardboards until you have about 1 inch thick. We want to make sure that the thickness that we are stacking up would be able to fit nice and snug in the grooves that we have at the bottom of the table. And for this pattern, if you're using the poster board is not as long as the table, so we'll need to glue a strip of poster board underneath first and then glue the rest of it on top of the poster board, so it wouldn't show as much. Now we'll glue the poster board onto the cardboard. I'm turning the shiny side outside because I want to have a shiny finish. Now if you want to have a matte finish, you could turn the matte side on the outside. Now we'll glue the strips along the edge. We don't need to have it inside of the grooves because the other piece would be fitting inside of there and we want to make sure that we have enough room to put the other piece. So we'll glue the strip all the way around and then we'll just cut out this little area right by the groove. Once we are finished, it is so easy to put our pieces together. All we have to do is slide our pieces in like this. And I did not get it on camera, but I put hot glue between the pieces before I slide it in place. The joined pieces of cardboards that you see here, I use this as the back side so that you don't have to use so many cardboard. Now it's time for the decorations. We want to take our resin pieces while it is still flexible and it could bend like this inside of the mold. We'll take our resin strips and we'll use it to mold around the edges of our table. I place some double-sided tape around the edges and then I'm sticking the resin on top of the double-sided tape. Now if you don't have double-sided tape, you could use the glue gun. That is completely fine. Once you get to the end here, all you have to do is bend it and continue going around the edges. This is one of the reasons I love using resin, because you could bend it and play around with it and come up with so many beautiful designs before it turns solid. To join the pieces, all you have to do is take another one, push it next to the other piece and it would join together. Once it is flexible, they stick to themselves. Guys, this is so easy and wonderful to use. Now I put out a video showing you step by step how you could take ordinary decorations and turn them into molds. And then I also showed how you could mix the resin and pour it into the molds and use it to bend and shape around objects. So if you guys didn't see that video, you could check that out. It would be linked at the end of this video. I'll continue molding around the edges and then I'll come back. Once we have finished trimming out the table, I'm taking these resin pieces. These resin pieces are already cured completely, so they are nice and solid. Now, in order to get it flexible again, you could take something that has heat like a hair dryer. I'm using this heat gun and we'll heat it up and you could watch while we're heating it up that it starts to bend and it becomes flexible. And once it's flexible, we could stick it wherever we want our pieces. I'm putting hot glue on the resin and sticking it in the curve of the table. And if you want a longer lasting hole, you'll want to leave out a few places and put in some E6000 or something like that for a stronger hole. Once I'm done gluing on all of the pieces, I'm going to stick one of the pieces right in the middle here. Now you could stick it on all four sides, but I just want something so that I know that this is the front. Now I'm going to take this design and stick it at the top, and I'll do this on all four sides. Once I was done, I spray painted it gold and placed this round glass on top. I really love the way that this came out. It looks so elegant and rich, and guys, it was so easy to do. Just using these molds that I showed you guys in the previous video, that just made the project. So I really love the way that this table turned out, and if this is something that you like and is something that you'd like to try out, leave it in the comments section down below. You know I love hearing from you guys. Now this table was so easy to make and it looks so rich and elegant because of the resin pieces. And if you guys haven't seen the molds video, I showed you step by step how to make the molds out of ordinary pieces, and then how to mix the resin and pour the resin, and then how you could take it and mold it around objects. So if you guys didn't see that video, it would be linked after this video. Now, if this is your first time here and you're not yet subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video, if you like videos like this. Now, you guys stay safe and have a blessed and wonderful day. So thanks for taking the time out to watch this video. You have a blessed and awesome day. Now if you like this video, you may also like these as well. See you in the next one.